What happened to Hitler remains the greatest mystery of the 20th century. The hot and sunny Spanish island of Fuerteventura in the Atlantic Ocean that lies 100 miles off the west coast of Africa may have played an important role for the Germans in World War II. In the last months of the war, up to 30,000 Germans fled the Bolshevik onslaught in Europe to the shores of Argentina. After we examined certain infrastructure on the southern tip of Fuerteventura, it appears perfectly plausible that this island provided an essential stopover location that made this escape possible. It is probable that Hitler and his wife Eva Braun came this way too. We are told that World War II ended for Adolf Hitler on the 30th of April 1945 as they committed suicide in their bunker in Berlin. The Soviets said they discovered their burnt-out bodies 2 days later and took Hitler's body back to Russia. An American specialist in 2009 was allowed to inspect what the Soviets declared was Hitler's skull. His analysis showed that it was a skull of a young woman and not of Hitler. Therefore, the question arises, what happened to Adolf Hitler? In the 1970s and 1980s, there were many reports that thousands of Nazis had escaped at the end of the war to Argentina by U-boat, apparently. In the last few years, documents released by the FBI confirmed that 2 submarines had arrived off the coast of Argentina in July or August 1945, and that Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun travelled on the second U-boat, which is the largest of the 2. They were sightings by local people of Hitler and Eva Braun walking off the U-boat and walking on the shore. It is known that on the 22nd of April 1945, the Tempelhof airport in Berlin was still operational as many Nazi leaders flew out. It is believed by some sources that Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun left the bunker at least 2 days before it was entered by the Soviets. In those last few days, the Brandenburg Gate Road was used as a landing strip by Hitler's pilot, Anna Reich. From this airstrip, it is believed and apparently recorded that Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun was ferried by aircraft and was flown to Denmark down an air corridor protected by the Luftwaffe. They were then taken to Hitler's personal aircraft, a Junkers Ju-290A6, and then flew to Prague. Upon landing, the aircraft broke a wheel and the Luftwaffe sent out a new wheel to repair that aircraft. Later on, they flew to Madrid in Spain by the same Junkers aircraft. Franco, who was the dictator of Spain, he provided them with a safe temporary haven. It was either in Franco's presidential palace in Madrid that Hitler died in 1947 under the name of Adi Lupi. Or it was perfectly credible that the couple were eventually flown to one of the Spanish Canary Islands called Fuerteventura. It is said that this island could have been the final departure for the Nazis before they left for Argentina by U-boat. But how did they arrive here? We start our search using Google Earth. We see an airfield, and this was prepared by Gustav Winter, a friend of Hitler's. Gustav Winter resided on the island of Fuerteventura, and he built this airfield sometime after 1935. He also built an extraordinary house not far from the airfield. So now we have done some reconnaissance of the region of the airfield by using Google. We are now off to Fuerteventura, leaving from Manchester Airport in the United Kingdom. And after a day of settling into the hotel, which is located on the south-east side of the island, we drive in the car to Morro And it's this town that Gustav Winter developed in the 30s. The road is tarmacked, and we get to a certain point where it becomes nothing but a dirt road leading to his house called in Confetti. At this junction, we don't go to Confetti, we take the left road. And this leads us all the way down to the tip of the peninsula. In the distance, we will come across this old Gustav Winter airfield. We can see the sea ahead. As we get another 2 miles down this road here, the old airfield will intersect this new dirt road. In fact, the dirt road cuts right across the airfield, and we can see the signs of the perimeter of the airfield. I am now standing on an airfield built before or during World War II by Gustav Winter. The question is, was this airfield built or used to facilitate this German expedition from the Bolshevik forces that were invading Germany? About 600 feet east of the runway lies the coast. By examining this airfield, we may be able to determine more about its history and what types of aeroplanes could land here. Gustav Winter statue lies towards Confetti. We can see a picture of him here with his dog. He was a well-known personality. He always wore sunglasses, it's told, and walked around with his dog. We go back to the airfield and we start by doing a dimensional survey of the length and breadth of the airfield. We can see from Google that there's indications of a taxiway to the east side of the main runway. And from Google, we also can see possible locations of buildings and other features, witness marks on the land. And these are the items that we wish to investigate. Possible buildings that existed at the time may be found. They could include the fuel depot, maintenance buildings, any administration buildings as well. This is the beginning of the runway approaching from the south. You can see a straight line and it's intercepted by a dirt track.